property that you shouldn't buy, and then let's talk about a property that you should purchase in Dubai, okay? If you've got comments or questions, please, you're welcome to put them down below, and I will be happy, quite happy, to answer them, okay? So let's go to, should I go to my live channel then? How do I get to my own questions? You will explain to me, Mr. Sangat. Okay, let's talk about a property you should buy or a property you should avoid. Okay, here's a property that you should avoid in the Dubai market or any market. Okay, number one, don't purchase an overpriced property. How do you assess an overpriced property? You first of all seek help from an expert. If you're yourself not an expert, you might be a surgeon, which makes you an expert in the field of surgery. But if you're not a real estate expert, seek help from an expert who can actually bring to the table resources. Number one, his expertise, his knowledge, real data from the market, how to interpret that data, and then to understand if you're truly buying something that's overpriced, or if something is not overpriced and it's a good deal, then you shouldn't be walking away from a transaction just because you think it's not a good deal, but you're not an expert, right? So that's number one, avoid a property that's overpriced. Number two, in the Dubai market, I've really felt about this during my recent travels, where I've been to countries where their development, the construction was done with stone. I believe they use limestone. Okay, one of my friends is a construction expert. So he explained to me, because they used limestone, their buildings that they've built, and I always had this question in my mind, like, how do you go to the UK and see that this house was built 400 years ago and it's still standing in good steel, like it's still in good shape? Well, because the raw material, the stuff that they used, is meant to last forever. Like if you use a rock, think about it, right? A mountain stays there for almost forever, right? Until you actually blow it up with the dynamite to do some mining, move it, dig a tunnel, whatever it is, it's going to be there for a long time, right? Similarly, if you take that same rock and build a house with it, yes, it's not the mountain, but still the propensity for it to last very long is going to be there. In Dubai, we use cement, concrete, slabs, so on and so forth. I'm not saying that the life of buildings here is short term, but you know, at the end of the day, they're using a mixture to make things faster, right? Like if you imagine all these towers, Burj Khalifa and everything was built with stone, it would take ages to bring all that stone over here. So it's very important that you buy in a building that's using international standards and high quality, so that they're actually delivering you a great, sturdy, good structure building, okay? Not just on the outside, but also on the inside. So don't buy poor, low quality. I can understand if you're a little bit constricted on the budget, but okay, there's a balance, right? If you have 1 million dirham and the good quality developer that's proven to deliver good quality projects is going to charge you 200,000 dirhams, my personal opinion, manage the 200,000. For somebody who's got 1 million dirhams in cash, managing another 200,000 is not going to be near impossible, okay? It's not impossible. You can manage it, beg, borrow, steal. Actually, don't steal, don't beg, but borrow. Third, poor location. Don't go for the poor location. Like, look, here's a quick litmus test for you to understand if the location is really poor, okay? Now, here's the thing. There's three kinds of location, right? Super prime, amazing. Really poor. I'm just giving you a simple scenario, okay? In the middle, right? It could be a good location. In the future, it could go down to the poor location side, okay? Now, here's the deal. If you're a constricted buyer in terms of your budget, but if you're in your mind, a question pops up that this location doesn't look like a good location today or tomorrow, that's a bad location. Because you, as a human, have an intrinsic sense that's common to everybody for you to be guided by what's a good location. So if you're questioning if this is a good location, it's not a good location. If you're immediately sold that this is a good location, that's a good location, like around Burj Khalifa, on the Palm Jumeirah, around the sea, around the marina, around the golf course, the park, so on and so forth. That's amazing. Now the question is in the middle, right? What about the middle part? The middle is where the experts need to guide you, right? Perhaps there's a metro station coming there. Perhaps there's schooling coming there. Perhaps there's other things that are going to be happening in that area that's going to add some more oomph to the area, right? That's where you can be okay. But if you go really poor, it's too difficult. You can go prime if you can afford it. That's great. Nothing wrong with that. It's the middle gray area where you need to be a little bit careful and get expert advice and help, whether it's Dubai or anywhere else in the world, okay? The only difference with a lot of other places, I think Dubai is going to follow the same. Like, you know, like I know the scenario is true for Pakistan in Lahore, for example. If you end up buying on the outskirts, I know this is true for, like, for example, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan. He built a cancer hospital. So there's a comment. Let's see if I can bring up these comments here. I'm going to try here. Okay, Sangha, just give me 1 second, okay? Because if I do that, what's going to happen is, if I go live from here, is it going to catch the same stream? Will it stop the other stream? Okay, let me see if I can actually get into my own live. So that way. But then will I be able to see the questions? Yeah? Okay, if I can see the question. Hey, I'm going to answer your question. Just give me 1 moment, please. Yeah, I can see it live, but maybe it's going to send me live from here. I don't want to do that, right? Okay. My guy's telling me use another account. Don't mess around with his stuff. Okay, 1 second. Okay, 2 comments. I'm coming, guys. I am coming. Where? Oh shucks, I don't have another account here. Yeah, okay, I can switch. Okay, I'm coming. I'm going to answer your questions, guys. Just give me 1 moment, please. And now I need to join my own live, right? Correct? Okay, just 1 minute. Guys, I'm coming with my questions. That's my thumbnail. It's a funny thumbnail. Okay, where's the questions? So I've got a question. I'm going to answer the question. Okay, Ripped Guy. At what stage a building gets demolished in the if not, what happens to when it gets older? If yes, what happens to the investor who purchases the property free? Ripped Guy. Debron Das, how to know the right price of a property? I answered this, Debron. The way to know the right price of a property is to actually seek the help of an expert who can bring some resources to the table, which is their expert knowledge, market data, and then interpreting that market data to be able to assess what the right price is, number 1. Number 2, at what stage does a building get demolished? Okay, so look, I was born and raised in Dubai, right? So I've been living here for 40 plus years. I've seen buildings, I think, get refurbished, okay, at the 20, 25, 30 year mark. They don't get demolished. From what I've heard, that these buildings can easily last between 70 to 90 years as long as they get refurbished every 20 to 30 years, right? So maybe there's 4 refurbishments. So now if you're an owner in one of these buildings, and it just makes sense, like every 20 to 30 years you would refurbish the building fully. Why? For example, just look at the last 20 to 30 years, the number of changes that have happened with conserving electricity and energy, right? So the plumbing's got to be upgraded because there's always innovation taking place in these areas. Plumbing's got to be upgraded. Electricity's got to be upgraded. I'm answering Ripped Guy, by the way, right? So plumbing's got to be upgraded. Electricity has got to be upgraded. There's more efficient use of the space, perhaps, in the building. Perhaps there's corrective measures that you can take. So every 20 to 30 years or 25 to 30 years, a building's going to get refurbished. For example, I can tell you this from my personal experience. The place where I was born and I was raised, I had this beautiful apartment. My father had this beautiful apartment. Big apartment, because he used to work with Dubai, with the government. So we were living in one of the government buildings for like officers. So that building, I think we moved into it in 1982, and it's just getting refurbished now. So about 40 years later, it's getting refurbished. So I think every 25 to 30 to perhaps 40 years, a building gets fully refurbished in Dubai. And then maybe after 3 refurbishments, they might consider demolishing. I don't know. We don't know right now. What I do know is from a freehold title deed, you are actually the owner of your apartment and proportionally the owner of land at the bottom of that apartment, okay? So 70 to 80 to 90 years from now, I don't know what the solution is going to be exactly. It's not precisely mentioned in the law right now. I'm not sure exactly how the scenario plays out, but I imagine that 70 to 80 to 90 years from now, we're not going to have this restriction that a building can only be this tall, because according to that, then there's going to have to be road networks around it. I personally think we're going to have self-driving cars, underground tunnels, people are going to have flying cars. So I personally think perhaps a building, if it gets torn down after 90 years, everybody who owns part of that land, how do you repay for that building's reconstruction? You just, if you've got a 30-floor tower, perhaps you just make a 60-floor tower, right? So the other people who are actually buying the other 30 floors just end up paying for the construction. So that's one of the ways. Okay. So poor location, good location. So the properties to avoid. Don't buy an overpriced property. Don't buy a low quality property. This is not just for Dubai, it's anywhere in the world, because paying overpriced, you're going to suffer later. Buying low quality, again, you suffer later. Poor location. Look, don't go absolutely poor. Don't go absolutely prime if you can't afford it. If you can, then go prime. Go into the middle, but go into a middle with some sense. Like, where can you actually move? Where would that location move to, right? Last but not the least, don't purchase hype. If it looks nice, the collateral, the marketing looks nice, it's not an automatic buy, okay? You've got to actually assess and analyze beyond the collateral, the marketing collateral, and understand that, is this good project or not a good project, okay? Last but not the least, what's a good property to buy? Look, buy in a better location, buy in a better community. Somebody asked me this question recently, like, where should we buy? Should I buy 2 studios with a medium developer or 1-bedroom apartment with a good developer? Look, buy in a better location, better community, better services, better quality, better developer, as best as you can get. Like, you know, if, for example, right, one of the top tier developers, if they're selling a 1-bedroom for 1.8 million, you can't afford it, well, go for the next best option, right? Don't go for the absolute cheap, dirt cheap option, because buying cheap, you understand the price later. Which area you think will be focus area for the next 5 years? Aswin Santosh, Dubai Creek Harbour, Mohammed bin Rashid City. I think these areas are going to really, Mohammed bin Rashid City may be a little bit lagging behind, but Dubai Creek Harbour is really going to come up. Mohammed bin Rashid City is going to really come up. Dubai World Central and the areas around those are really going to come up as well, and we give it like a year or 2 years to see like major developments come over there. Now, downtown remains the same. It gets better to better, from good to better to better. Palm Jumeirah might become better, so on and so forth. The other areas remain the same. All right, guys, look, that's it for the live today. If you got questions, look, one thing I want to say to you guys, if you want free help, put your comments in the comments section, questions in the comment section in YouTube. I answer those. My team looks at those questions, brings them to me. If you reach out to me personally, it's paid help, whether you're an investor, seller, or an agent looking for advice. I'd love to give you advice, and YouTube is my medium to give you free advice, right? So just put your question there and I'll give you free advice. I'll make a video sometimes as well. When you come to me personally or my team and you want to work with me or you want a session with me, obviously that becomes paid, right? You understand, right? Yeah? You go to work yourself, your employer takes your time, and in return he pays you money, right? Same thing happens, same thing applies here. Like, I give you time personally, then it becomes a paid relationship, right? It's a transaction. On YouTube, it's free. I'm happy to help you. If you find me somewhere, generally speaking, I've talked about this in my old videos, there is a secret place to find me. I'm generally there. A lot of the times you find me there. Please come up, chat to me. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. All right, ciao for now. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell icon. Bye-bye.